All right, good morning. There we go. Looks like markets oscillating up, down, up, down, up so far today. I'm curious if yesterday was an actual distribution day in the stock market. So it looks kind of like it on the right there on the futures. We'll have to see if it actually is though. Small moves. Looks like no distribution day yesterday, which is good. We noticed Fastenal, electronics, computers, semiconductors, and software. That was leadership this year. Electronics, computers, semiconductors, and software. That's interesting. You mentioned electronics contractor Fabrinet working on a cup base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Palo Alto Networks base on base pattern. Okay, kind of a cup base and then a flat base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, look at Palo Alto the past couple of days, kind of moving higher there. Not bad. A new IPO PagerDuty, whatever that is. Digital Enterprise Company. Still don't know what it is. All right, what do we got here? We got FTNT up 1.38%. Maybe continuing its breakout move. We'll see. Acacia, Match.com. Everything's green on my actionable list. Yeah, we'll see if that holds. Still kind of a muted day, but most things are still up, which is fine. C-Trip leading today with a bit of a gap this morning. CGC roaring back. Oh wow, look at that. Let's see how it behaves. Overnight gapping up. Oh, it's going to grow the SPX 60 or S&P 60. All right, VFF up a little bit after just being destroyed the past week. Actually, not holding up horribly bad considering stuff, but we'll see if it'll even come close to filling that out. Fortinet now up 2%. Volume, what, 1 minute into the session? 2 minutes into the session? Oh, I'm on real. That's a real crypto? Oh, what the hell? I'm lost in YouTube land. Hold on a second. Real stocks. There we go. There's chat. My chat was blank. I had no chat. What's up, Eli and Rob? Oh, goodbye, Eli. Oh, really? PagerDuty alerts for IT. Interesting. Thanks for that tidbit, Eli, and get out of here. All right, now I have my chat back. Sorry, I thought I was talking to myself. In theory, I kind of was talking to myself. CGC up, VFFC trip, Fortinet, EDU, ESNT, TTMI, Match.com. Got some red. Twilio. Going a little red this morning. A little bit more than a little. Still holding up above the 50-day. NASDAQ up in the pre-market. I don't know if it has any more upside in that. The way the market's been behaving the past week or two. What's INSG doing? I never broke down yesterday. It did make a slight low, but it kind of held some trend. Very light volume the past couple of days. Hopefully we'll be able to come back out of this. I think we're live, Justin. Think so. Am I? I think I'm live. All right, a couple red in my chart now. Didn't have any red before. Take-Two, Twilio, Amarin, O'Reilly, GMed. Look at yesterday. Went red and then came right back to close at highs. Not too bad. Oh, that's because I didn't say anything in chat, and I went back to YouTube to see if I was live, and it said I wasn't live, and I thought I screwed up my stream key, so I stopped the stream and redid it. We're good. EDU, getting on with getting on. A little choppy, but nice uptrend, and then trying to make new highs here. Most of these days closing towards highs here recently, which is pretty good. Past 3 days all closed towards the high. You can see the result of that. We got a nice pop out this morning. Looks like his earnings coming up. 423. Cautious of that if you're in this as a position. Match.com yesterday kind of rallied out of that level. Good little volume day, not a pocket pivot. These are in our way, but elevated volume nonetheless. Let's see if we're able to hold up today. We did sell off towards the afternoon part yesterday here. And I will say I'm not quite happy with exactly how heavy the volume was, but we'll see what happens. All right, VFF taking leadership here. Really with kind of a nothing move. Let's go up to 15 maybe. Yeah. Kind of very boring week for stocks, man. Manitowoc up 2.5%. This is one of those coming out of lows. Breaking a longer trend line. Right there, looks like a couple weeks ago. And trying to break highs of recent. Let's see if it'll try to do it today. Yesterday, quite a bit of volume came in to the bull side, it looks like. Still a little bit choppy for Manitowoc, though. See if a little bounce up to 15 for VFF will do anything. Not really anything at all on any time frame. Fortinet 1.3 match is basically flat. Like I said, boring day today. It's been boring lately. ZTO. It's like a pretty large cup and handle there on the weekly. IPO-based breakout right there. And looks like retracement trying to do something. Could be a base on base maybe. Crypto update. Well, we just had a chink in our armor in terms of crypto. Obviously, the move down yesterday, but volume was a little bit elevated, not crazy, and we're waiting to see what the next move is. Really, I mean, Bitcoin Cash. Okay, looks like it broke out a little earlier this morning to the upside a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of in a holding pattern. It was damaging. The move was damaging, but it didn't kill us. So, ZTO making highs right now. NASDAQ pulling back a little bit off of where it was at the open. Getting some more red creeping in here. Twilio match. Fortinet doing okay so far, holding up at 1.58%. Yesterday was kind of a choppy day. Green nonetheless, but definitely some distribution in there somewhere. And getting a little bit higher today. Looking for a continuation from the breakout day of the other day. Right there, that was a nice breakout day. Volume was good. Just got to see some continuation ideally. It's an interesting market here though. SIVB we noted with an inverted head and shoulders pattern yesterday, 3.14% today. Pretty good volume as of recent. Very large volume here on this spike low of the right hand shoulder. Not a ton of volume at the head here, a little bit elevated. We'll see if that'll get going. Should find some resistance up there. Good moves this morning, though. Two pretty big 5-minute candles. And volume was decent. In line with the highest volume of recent days. Nothing extraordinary. But doing good nonetheless. All right, let's go from the top down. There's not much to talk about. Let's see if we get something to talk about. EOG with a nice move today, trying to get towards recent highs. EVR, Evercore. It's an interesting pattern that we have on the daily chart, which is my bottom left quadrant. Very flat there, just letting the moving averages catch up since basically February, it looks like. It's been very flat here recently. I'm not sure what you'd call that on a weekly chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess this would be a flat base right here. So it's kind of got a flat base component to it. You've got earnings coming up in 424. Pretty nice gap this morning. This would be considered an island bottom, I would think, on the 5-minute chart. EVR doing good things. Trying to get up here pretty quick. If that can breach that 95 level, that could be pretty good. Maybe make a run up here towards the 112 level, give or take. Probably need earnings to help it out. Let's take a look at it on IBD. '83 composite rating, provides advisory services to multinational corporations on mergers, acquisitions, divestitures, and it doesn't tell us and. 154% EPS change last quarter, 70% last 3 quarters EPS change. Annual EPS growth rate 35%. Current estimate revisions are down negative 28%. Last quarter earnings surprise was 80%, so maybe that could cause another earnings surprise. You never know. SMR rating, which is sales margin, and ROE of A. Sales percent, 42%. Pre-tax margin, 27. ROE, 69. Really good numbers. That makes no sense. Up-down volume, 0.9, so a little bit of distribution in there. 1% change in funds owning stock. 1 quarter of increasing fund ownership, and a relative strength line of 56. So it's doing okay. We're not seeing too much new institutional sponsorship. And you can see the volume. You only have one big green pop. You see there's a multitude of red pops, which is probably why it has the 0.9 up down volume, but so there's your daily picture, trying to get it a second leg up. And if you're lucky, you're going to get a measured move out of this. Wow, what kind of straight line is that? There we go. Let's take my general measure move. That puts us up here towards 116 if and when it does move. That would have to be the move. Seems like a fairly extravagant move. Unless there's some kind of a catalyst. Match is negative now. And getting on with negative, it looks like. Morning, Ethan. NASDAQ pulling in. Yeah, it seems like it. Disney breaking out. Oh, snap. Streaming service tops expectations with subscriber growth. Huh. Wow, someone feels bad for selling all those shares right there, don't they? Yeah. Oh. Oh yeah. I actually had some Disney calls recently, but they expired March 22nd, so I wouldn't have been able to participate in that. Yeah, nice move. Oh damn, look at that breakout. Woo! Look at the weekly chart, guys. That's insane. Yeah, not quite sure how far that singular news event's going to take us of streaming, but I mean, I guess it could do some things. Twilio coming in a little bit more. Yeah, volume seems a little elevated. Not broken yet. That's Chesapeake match. Still going down. ESNT. Fortinet holding up nicely towards highs, which is good. Definitely better than most of these other stocks. Working well on that breakout. Yeah, that's the story of the day so far as Fortinet, in my opinion. It's a good breakout. So today's the last day of this week, and hopefully we'll end up with more volume than last week. That'd be good on a breakout week. What did we break out on? Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. Yeah, not super volume on the weekly, but it's doing good. Match another low. Twilio workday. Let's check out some daily movers. Oh, quite a few daily movers. This should be fun. All right. APC, whatever that does, is doing that. That's doing that. That. Disney. PE, PXD. Concho, CPE. NBL, Fang, AR. CGC. LPI, MDR, LPI again. JP Morgan. Up here with a pretty big base. A double bottom with a traditional breakout point, or a cup and handle with a failure and then a new base, depending on what you want to call that. IQ. Morgan Stanley with, I don't know if I'd call it a nicer base, but definitely looks like some banks are getting their mojo back. Usually good if the banks are getting their mojo back for the market. Bank of America. Looks like I've drawn that line before. Cron up today as well. Billy. What is that? That's funny. Hess. Do not resuscitate. H-band. Citigroup also up here today. Wow. Goldman Sachs up here too. And all these banks are, is that Fitbit? Oh, Fifth Third Bank Corp. There you go. That's a larger regional bank, I believe. I'm not sure they're national. They could be national. I could be wrong about that. But man, it looks like banks are eating up some Charles Schwab. I believe that's Charles Schwab. Just kind of eating up some stuff here, some money. What was the Morgan Stanley's chart? Pretty definitive, and it's trending. This one may be trying to come back. Wow, so many options. Huh, not bad. Excuse me. Twilio. On the 5 minute, looks like I undercut that trend line on the 5 minute. Match pulling all the way back in. INSG 4%. Oh, look at that. Boom. Wow. All right. Getting on with that program. just popped a little bit ago. About freaking time. All right, nice. INSG outpacing Fortinet, which is great. As Fortinet's doing great too. Let's get INSG doing that. Then Twilio. All right. Feel better now that INSG popping up a little bit. Good volume too. I like that. How's Fortinet doing? Hanging out? Good stuff. Match appears to be trying to bounce back. I guess volume's kind of muted on the sell-off. Although it doesn't tend to be a strong opener either direction. Just kind of tends to do whatever. This one sold off, could bounce back. NASDAQ 0.4%. How's SIVB doing? Doing all right? Not too bad right there. Yeah, Chesapeake taking it on the chin. That's some decently aggressive selling. Okay. Good stuff. Evercore's holding up okay. Not really majorly breaking out, but doing fine so far. Yeah, it's kind of into recent highs. If you give it like that, it still has a little bit of room to go. NASDAQ 0.35%. Yeah, basically NASDAQ's just been churning, although upward. It's declining volume, not leading to a lot of confidence, but we'll see how that plays itself out as an index. It doesn't necessarily, it can do that. Hertz looks a little bit like it's changing some behavior here on the weekly chart. Hasn't been able to drop down significantly lower. Looks like since the beginning of the year. Hasn't really made one attempt at a low, but it got stopped kind of and made that trend line. Still quite a few wicks up here, but maybe it'll find that support and then continue going. Oh, there we go. INSG 3.6. See if it'll stay up. Illumina. Talked about this one a while ago. Looks like yesterday had a good day. And today, yeah, wish I would have seen it yesterday. A little too far today. 425 earnings. So be a little bit cautious on that one. And not even too much to highs, only 10%. Illumina, big market leader. Has been a huge market leader for years. Years and years. They make surgery robots and other medical devices. So look for them to get back up to at least 360 probably. How about Tesla? Let's take a look at Tesla. Um, I guess maybe I would probably wait for it to get over that trend line. I know it's not a may not seem like a huge deal, and it may not be a huge deal, and you'd be paying more money, but you can see it spiked only above it a couple of times, and it sold off each time, and then a couple of days ago couldn't even get over it here. So I would probably I'd like to see a little bit more bullishness. I mean, that's a good day. That's a good day. That's a doji close. So that could imply a reversal. Um, Maybe take a partial position and then maybe buy some more a little bit higher. But again, I don't really believe I can't trading Tesla here is difficult, but investing for longer term in Tesla, I think would be better. I mean, earnings is coming up, and that's going to be a huge mover for Tesla, 424. So just be careful about that. That's going to whipsaw you probably 10% one direction or another. If it whipsaws you to the downside, we're probably completely screwed in these positions. That 250 level has been rock solid for about a year now. So maybe I don't know, maybe buy the stock and then sell a put or buy a put, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it's okay. The earnings is a little more daunting than the trend line. So if you want to buy the stock, that's fine. But just be aware you could be getting in a world of hurt with earnings. I still kind of like this Illumina trade. All right, Chesapeake leading us on the downside currently. Match.com, a pretty close second. Looks like it may have found a little bit of a bottom. And then Twilio looks like it may have found a bottom too. That would be nice. Nasdaq still about 0.3. Fortinet still 2.4. Holding pretty steady, which is good. They also have earnings coming up in May. We'll see how that goes, but so far looking pretty good. Still potentially viable, 3.84% out of the breakout. On a good breakout day with good breakout volume. So hopefully that'll continue. INSG rising off of the lows, consolidating here towards the highs, maybe bull flagging out. We'll have to see. It's like that VFF. Pulled in a little bit on lower volume, elevated volume on this potential bottoming candle, so that could put the next leg in. That would be good for this one. This one could break out of this pattern here, but we have to form it first. We need to get a little bit higher off of this before we can call this a definitive bottom. And CGC, 6%. Bouncing off what looks like to be the 200-day moving average. And I also believe this is the one getting added to the S&P 60 large cap index. I didn't even know it was a large cap. All right. Just got to manage these here now and see how it works out. Fox, trying to get to breakout, which would be a cup with no handle. Let's check them out on IBD. High-performance suspension products used on mountain bikes and off-road and all-terrain vehicles. 95 composite rating. Number 1 in their industry group, which is ranked number 152 out of 197. So not so good there. Group relative strength is a D+. EPS change 53%. EPS current quarter 33%. 3-year growth rate is 28%. Sales change last quarter 29%. Pre-tax margin 17, ROE 31, which is fine. 1.4 up down volume, 0% change in funds owning stock, and 0% quarters of fund ownership. Worth about $3 billion. And no one's writing about them, and the relative strength is 96. So, doing pretty good. No major institutional sponsorship. At least increasing institutional sponsorship, but it's working okay. No, that's Fortinet. Okay. There's our SIVB. Align. Hooyah. CRISPR. Still hasn't broken my alert level. I had this over here coming out of this kind of ascending thing. Looks like it came down and used that as a resistance level. And maybe it'll break out from there. Who knows? I think I'm going to get out of here, guys. I'm kind of bored, to be honest. A couple good things. We got Fortinet continuing on with the good fight. INSG finally off of the lows there. And looks like continuing into into highs of the day, which is good. Hopefully we can do something with that. Look at the volume today. Bam, already huge. That's great. Already above the prior 2 days, and we're only 45 minutes into the day. That's really good. INSG getting on with that. The VFF kind of bouncing off of a trend line here. Again, Fortinet with a good breakout. CGC bouncing off the 200-day moving average. If this gets any more momentum, it could shift us here. There's that trend line right there. Maybe it'll bounce us out. There's quite a bit of volume down here after this point yesterday. You can see that whole rise in volume. It didn't really make a new low after that, so that could prove to be a bit of change. Probably some insider buying right there, knowing about the news about them going to the S&P 60 or whatever that's called. Match.com not looking so hot, pulling back. Volume's not too bad though. Only 122,000. So maybe it's not the end of the world. But it needs to hold this low, otherwise it's just gonna get taken out again. Wouldn't be so keen on that. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I didn't see any more questions come through or anything, so I'm gonna bounce. Market's doing what it's doing. It's holding up okay, 0.3%. We opened up high on the Nasdaq, so sometimes it's difficult for the market to continue, especially when we've seen such tepid action recently. Hasn't been very mixed. So, yeah, hopefully we'll hold up pretty good throughout the day. But all right, guys, I will see you today, Friday. I will not see you tomorrow. I will see you on Monday. So have a good weekend. And for those of you Power Hour people, I will see you in about 2 hours. I'll see you then, guys. Bye-bye.